We're back! The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all?
She's still in the Speaker's Chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
Every great display of power comes at a price. You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting for us.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan.
I'll let her explain everything. We're all a part of the plan now. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the abyss—
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patience to see, so...
Thank you, Koichi.
All right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has...
Huh?
No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago. All the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the... Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 5, but at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the
So that's what. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitation. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because if the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation.
So that means
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going.
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication.
just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name bearer. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shalonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year.
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did—
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here help.
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them. It was a rather crude approach, so All their power was depleted in an instant, as you—
But weren't they all precious treasures?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use—
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. And then, it would only be a matter of time before— Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was— If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan—
Even when you put it that way.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about the people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply— If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve, and your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like—
Well, we'd still like to return the—
Well, if that's the case, just— Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able—
Still, now that I know the danger—
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out.